Do you want the federal government and the FBI to help locate and arrest these Texas Democrats who have left the state?
Well, I think they've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Should the FBI get involved? Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. They may have to. No, I know they want him back. Not only the attorney general, the governor wants him back.
Oh, it's not just one partisan Republican hack that wants them back. A separate other partisan Republican hack wants them back. Oh, well, if two partisan Republican hacks doing your bidding in Texas want them back, well, then obviously the FBI has to get involved. To be clear, does the FBI have to get involved? Obviously not. Can the FBI get involved? No, they have no role in dealing with whether some state legislators from Texas temporarily aren't in the state. And I'm not gonna do like a big history lesson or whatever, but Donald Trump apparently has been told, because he definitely didn't know, that yes, over the past 25, 22 years or so, the Democrats have left the state 3 times to avoid insane things being done. Twice on gerrymandering, once on a different topic. You know, it's not just the Democrats and not just in Texas that this has happened. Actually, in 2019, I believe in Oregon, the Republicans fled so that they wouldn't have to pass climate change legislation. And I don't recall him dispatching the FBI in that case. So if we're gonna be citing history, Donald Trump, maybe you could do a better job of it. But in any event, despite the fact that the FBI has nothing to do with any of this, many Republicans are pushing for these Democrats to be literally arrested, locked up, have their seats stripped away so that the Republicans can steal more representation in Congress. You have Senator John Cornyn, who asked FBI Director Kash Patel, another Republican partisan hack, if the Bureau could help find or arrest the Democrats, calling them potential lawbreakers. In the letter, Cornyn also suggested they may be guilty of public corruption offenses because they received donations before they left. Okay, again, what any of this has to do with the FBI, Cornyn isn't making clear. He just thinks, well, we can't literally order our Texas law enforcement to go to Chicago or wherever to get them. But Donald Trump is super fascist. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's against the law or the Constitution or whatever, he just might do it. And so clever strategizing on Cornyn's part. But let's move on to a little bit of what Greg Abbott, the other hack in the story, has had to say. So he put out a statement identifying Representative Wu as the ringleader in Texas House Democrats' strategic effort to block this redistricting vote. Representative Wu and other Texas House Democrats have shown a willful refusal to return, and their absence for an indefinite period of time deprives the House of the quorum needed to meet and conduct business on behalf of Texans. Texas House Democrats abandon their duty to Texans, and there must be consequences. That's funny, consequences, it is funny. I mean, one would think that, like pursuing disastrous policies, supporting an unpopular president should have consequences in the midterms. And you seem to understand that they may be coming, which is why you're rushing to do this redistricting. You can say that you think that they're not doing like whatever they need to do on behalf of Texans. Well, what about the Democrats that make up more than 40% of Texas that would still like to have some representation in Congress? I mean, they're not going to after this passes. Could they at least now have their representatives give them a little bit of their time and effort and passion, which is what they're doing by refusing this ridiculous redistricting to go through? And look, I'm gonna bring you in, Sharon. Again, there is no possible legal thing that allows the FBI to track them down, arrest them, and haul them back to allow a partisan gerrymander to happen. But this is 2025, and this is Donald Trump's America, so it totally could happen. They could end up in Alligator Alley or whatever the hell. So what do you think?
Yeah, in the words of an Atlanta housewife, who gonna check me, boo? They're gonna do whatever they want to do. And by the way, the FBI has serious things to do, let alone, of course, it's illegal. I mean, right now they're headed to Fort Stewart in Georgia because there's people wounded on a military base. When they're not doing serious work, they're looking to the Epstein files to see who else is in it that they can redact and try to protect. I mean, this is absurd. And at some point, Americans have to look at themselves and say, don't call me stupid. With every action, these Republicans, Texas, wherever, are calling us stupid.
Yeah.
We're not
No,
stupid.
100%.
You know?
Yeah,
Well,
and their
yeah.
excuses for what they want to do, like Abbott is saying, well, I can strip them of their seats and I can replace them. And you know why I can do that? Don't bother looking at like the Constitution or the Texas Constitution doesn't say that. It's that Ken Paxton, another hack, he wrote a legal memo that he thinks I can. Okay, I can write whatever you want on this piece of paper.
Sure.
That doesn't make it law. That's not how that actually works. But the issue for us is the Texas Supreme Court is composed entirely of Republicans. Again, although more than 40% of the state votes Democratic every time, it's supermajority in the legislature, entirely Republican Supreme Court. And the Chief Justice was formerly Greg Abbott's general counsel. So credit to Greg Abbott. You know, he was actually kind of ahead of Donald Trump in just having your lawyers or whatever just go on and they just take all these positions now. You know, why should there be any independence in the judiciary? And so, again, God only knows what they will end up allowing. Any final points on this before we get into the actual maps?
Greg, who hurt you? Who hurt you, Greg? You're constantly doing these things that are so ugly. And I understand it's what Dear Leader wants in Washington with his free plane. But at some point, do these people get together and eat lots of meat? You know, when you go to the Brazilian restaurant, they eat lots of meat and they drink endless bottles of wine and they cheer each other on. I mean, is that what they do while the rest of us are trying to figure out, shaking a tin cup somewhere saying, will you help get my mother some pills for her medication? She also has diabetes, can't afford insulin. I mean, at some point, do they go to church still? If that's a thing, is that still a thing down there in Texas, the heart of Texas? Is
Prosperity
it?
gospel, they'd like that.
Okay.
I think they'd be a
Just
fan of
asking.
that. Yeah. I don't know about some of the politicians, but we're talking about Texas. Alex Jones has definitely experienced the meat sweats a time or two. I can guarantee that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't know that just like refusing to come back means that you can be arrested or whatever. Next time Ted Cruz takes a vacation to Mexico, haul his ass back. Send the National Guard or whatever.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.